Hello and welcome to another FCTV broadcast of Saints Volleyball. The Saints of Flagler College just getting their warm-up underway. We're about a minute and a half away from the starters being announced here in St. Augustine, Florida. Perfection is what you might call the past record between the Saints and the Bearcats. Well, in perspective of the Saints, of course, Lander would like to change the tide. The Saints 6-0 all time. They are looking to move to that unbeaten mark against the Bearcats, 7-0 today, and they can achieve another unbeaten mark. They would also be 7-0 in conference if they could get the win today against the Lander Bearcats. Lander comes in from Greenwood, South Carolina. Their university was established in 1872. As you will see, their colors are royal blue and gold, but they use white road jerseys with gold numerals, and you'll see the royal blue on the liberos today. As for the Saints, the libero Casey Ganan, they're going to be wearing red, and they have their all-black jerseys. Just moments away here from the first serve, but the Saints looking to go 7-0 against the Bearcats and 7-0 in Peach Belt Conference play. They're the only team left unbeaten in the conference at 6-0 currently. The other three teams that were just below them, Armstrong Atlantic, USC Aiken, and Lander, they were all 4-1 before yesterday's action, but all four of those teams played. Armstrong defeated Lander last night. Armstrong is now 5-1. They are alone in second place in the conference. Lander is now tied in third with USC Aiken, who the Saints defeated last night. So Lander looking to bounce back from a road trip that has not been so kind. Already lost to Armstrong, and now back-to-back days, back-to-back losses possibly, back-to-back matches I should say, and for the Saints they'd like to send them home with back-to-back losses. But the Bearcats are a tough team, as Coach Heffernan mentioned last night. They do a lot of good things. Their defense is extraordinary, and it should be, because they've got 5 defensive specialists on their roster. Of 12 players, they have 5 defensive players. So expect to see the Lander Bearcats very scrappy here against the Saints today. I'm Kyle Larson. Thanks for tuning in to FlaglerAthletics.com or here on our Ustream page, ustream.tv/Flagler Athletics. We'll pause now for the national anthem. Lander Bearcats are coached by Ashley Stathis. Interesting note on Ashley Stathis, this is her first season at the helm of the Bearcats. She is a 2006 Lander graduate She was hired in April of this year. Her past coaching experience, she was at Belhaven in Mississippi.
Freshman from Arlington, Tennessee, the defensive specialist. Number 2, Sarah Bradley. 5'8" sophomore, center from Spartanburg.
Before Belhaven, Coach Stathis was an assistant at USC Upstate for 4 years before that. So Ashley Stathis coming home to coach her Bearcats. As for the Saints, of course, they are coached by first-year head coach Brian Heffernan, graduate of Penn State University, went to 2 Final Fours, and the year after he graduated, he was a assistant coach on the team that won the national championship, the first school east of the Mississippi to win the men's volleyball championship in the NCAAs. Last year, the Saints met Lander twice, once at Lander in Greenwood, South Carolina. They swept them 3-0 on October 8th of last year. And then hosting them at home in November of last year, similar story. Swept them 3-0 in that one. Interesting note, though, last year at home, Lander really showed up for that second set. They pushed it to beyond the 25th point. Finally finished 30-28 in advantage of the Saints. But after that expenditure, Lander really didn't mount a charge after that and kind of fell flat in the last set. They lost the last set 25-9. So the Bearcats, very scrappy team. Let's see if they can put up a good performance here in a place that they have not had much luck and against a team they have not yet had success. Of the 6 defeats, the Bearcats have been swept by the Saints 4 times. They've only won 2 sets total. They won a set in 2009, losing 3-1, and they won a set in 2010, losing 3-1. Let's see if the Bearcats in their road whites with black shorts going up against the Saints wearing all black today can change the tides of history. Fairfield Inn & Suites is the preferred hotel of Flagler Athletics, conveniently located off I-95 and minutes from the Flagler campus. Fairfield Inn & Suites, staying is believing. Caitlin Kovac, not going to start, but do want to recognize her real quickly. She was selected as the Diamond in the Rough for the month of September, sponsored by Nettles Fine Jewelry. Coach Heffernan stated that Kovac is a major part of the team's success they have experienced early on, and thanks to Nettles, the official jeweler of Flagler Athletics, they provide us with the award, and they have given it to Caitlin Kovac, the Diamond in the Rough for the month of September. Saints are ready to go. Bearcats are ready to stand toe-to-toe with them. The libero out there for the Bearcats is Madison Kubal. Sarah Bradley, the defensive specialist, will be serving. Out there for the Saints, the front row is Sophie Meyer, Amelia Morgan, Rachel Stacy, the back line, Casey Ganan, bookended by Taylor and Crane. That was Taylor, Morgan. Crane just barely got it off the fingertips and somehow scored that one. Laying out for the dig was Caitlin Harrison, an outside hitter. Couldn't come up with it, though. So serving will be Rachel Stacy. Abby Myers came in for Ganan. Dig from Stacy. Crane goes back row, and it's saved by Cabal. And again, they really are throwing it at Caitlin Harrison. She had both attacks, and the last one landed in the net. So a bit of a attack error there for Caitlin Harrison, who averages 2.86 kills per set, but it's Rachel Stacy who maintains service. Saved by Kraft, and big hit from Crane and Myers up front. A bit of a smaller team in comparison to other Peach Belt Conference opponents. And that attack long was from Angermeyer, and there's Abby Myers just blasting it through. Angermeyer and Jessica Register up front for the Bearcats. Nearest to furthest, it's Caitlin Harrison, Jessica Register, and Taryn Angermeyer. And there's Register, the setting specialist, setting up Harrison. Yes, it was Harrison, and she will get the point. Casey Ganan checks in now for Rachel Stacy. That is the Bearcats' first point, 4-1. We stand here in the first set. Crane, Morgan, Meyer. Well done by Abby Meyer, getting it over the head of the back line and still falling in the back of the court. That's going to send Kate Kovac back to serve. Kovac serves one up, saved by Kraft. And Kraft then dives to try and stop that one. And some quick wins here at the front of the net early on from Abby Myers and company up there. 6-1, Saints now lead the Bearcats. Kovac lofts one up, dug out by Kraft. And that one falls. That's off the hand of Hannah Diedrich. 2.21 kills, but only 86 total. 2.21 per set, 86 total on the year. She gets the kill there. Bearcats now within 4, and serving will be their setter, Jessica Register. Ganan, Morgan, Crane. Crane hits it hard. And net interference called up at the top by Hannah Diedrich. And Harrison. Up front, it's Pepperoni, the nearest player. Yes, that's her last name. Not traditionally spelled. That's set and attacked. Hannah Diedrich got the kill, set up, of course, by Register. Checking in is Bain. Little height up front. Sarah Bain, 5'10". Replaces the defensive specialist, Sarah Bradley. Kovac digs. Morgan. Abby Myers gets the kill on that one. Unable to save is Caitlin Pepperoni. Up front, it's Bain, their setter Register, and Caitlin Pepperoni from nearest to farthest. Ganan serving, leading by 5, 8-3. Saints have the advantage. Register, far side, attacked by Diedrich. Here's Morgan, quick attack there. The Bearcats expecting a set. Morgan ready to take a point. Well done by Amelia Morgan. Morgan leads the team with her .306 attack percentage, and that's why. Back row attack doesn't get over the net from Harrison, and that is a point for the Saints. 10 points now for the Saints. They lead the Bearcats 10-3, and that is first-year head coach Ashley Stathis taking a quick timeout. Stathis just a little removed from her time at Lander. Just 6 years ago, she graduated a Bearcat. And the Saints in control here in the first set. Speaking of Casey Ganan, she's out there, the libero in red. She was the Student Athlete of the Month, sponsored by Courtyard and Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott St. Augustine for the month of September. She was selected the Student Athlete of the Week in the middle of that month on September 10th. The Travel Inc. Student Athlete of the Week. Ganan helped lead Flagler to a 9-6 month by averaging 6 digs per set. She led the country in that statistic at least once that month. And she's currently number 6th in the nation in digs. Ganan leads the Peach Belt in digs per set. In the 15 matches she played, Ganan tallied 34 assists and 17 aces. Ganan collected a season-high 33 digs versus Wingate on September 8th at the USC Aiken Invitational. So Ganan back to serve is your Student Athlete of the Month, as selected by Fairfield Inn and Suites and Courtyard by Marriott and St. Augustine. Saints give up a point here, and now the libero, Madison Kubal, will be serving. Kubal, the libero, 4.06 digs per set. In comparison, Casey Ganan averages nearly 6. So you can see that Kubal is not the only one digging it out for Lander. They have a pretty balanced defensive set. Register sets far side. It went from Bain to Ganan, and there's Taylor. Man, that's surprising. Emily Taylor had a jersey issue, so she switched numbers. Normally number 8, playing out as number 2. Up front, Sophie Meyer, Rachel Stacy, and Emily Taylor nearest to furthest. And there's an attack blocked easily by Stacy from Bain. And this side, it's saved from Morgan off of Pepperoni, and there's Abby Meyer, or check that, Sophie Meyer on the attack. Bain, Ganan, lunge for the dig, and it goes in the net. Hard to play for Amelia Morgan, and that is a point for the Lander Bearcats. Diana Crane last night mentioned that the Saints come off a little slow in the first set. They're slow to start, but with a 6-point advantage, they look to have started pretty well. They just need to finish the first set with the same vigor. And there's Emily Taylor swooping in for that kill, floating it right toward the middle of that Bearcat defense and finding space for point number 12. First set point spread is 12-5, Saints leading. Emily Taylor now back to serve. Taylor pops a hard one right at Kubal, the libero, and it's hard to handle for Kubal, and Crane handles the miss hit for a kill. 12-5. Taylor still serving. Jump serve. Whoa, that goes long from Emily Taylor. Saints leading the Bearcats here in the first set. Diana Crane with the most kills, 3 kills so far. She also has 1 block, but Abby Myers has 2 so far for the Saints. Crane, Stacy, and Stacy finds room. Lunging in the back row was Sarah Bradley. Second on the team with 3.23 digs per set, 223 total on the year. She couldn't get that one though. And now Rachel Stacy will serve. Set from register. Blocked hard. Angermeyer is denied by Crane and Myers. 15-6, Saints leading. Rachel Stacy on the back line, serving for the Saints. (15-6) sends it long. Rachel Stacy, service error there for her. She gets replaced by Casey Ganan. Puts some defense on the back line. From nearest to farthest on the back line, Ganan, Taylor, Crane. Dug by Crane, goes right to Morgan, and Myers smashes one right into the block. It is saved by Angermeyer and then attacked by Harrison. And I guess they call Abby Myers on a bit of a net infraction. I didn't see it, but the call is against the Saints, so the point goes to the Bearcats. Well done on the dig by Taylor, and somehow miscommunication there from the Saints leads to a point for the Bearcats. 15-9, 6-point advantage for the Saints, but the Bearcats serving, and they have Taryn Angermeyer back there doing those duties. Attack from Taylor. Angermeyer digs. Register on the set, near side, or far side I should say, for Diedrich. Angermeyer, and then there's Harrison who gets the kill. Everything works through register, much like for the Saints how everything moves through Amelia Morgan, the setters for both teams, and Jessica Register set up Caitlin Harrison pretty well on that one, and that one goes out on the service. So ball back to the Saints, and it will be Caitlin Kovac. 2 substitution there. Wow. Crystal Niederreiter checking in for the first time. We weren't sure we were going to see her until maybe next weekend, coming off of a leg injury, but how about that? Crystal Niederreiter checking in for the first time all season. Preseason Peach Belt Conference selection. Last year, second in the Peach Belt Conference with hitting percentage of .359, and that also registered her at 21st in the country in Division II volleyball. Crane attacks, saved there by Kubal, and the attack is from Harrison. Again, net infraction this time. I'm not sure. It looked like it might have been Niederreiter who was called on the infraction. 17-11, and the setter, Jessica Register, goes back for service duty. She's got 19 aces on the year to lead the team, and Kovac wonderfully keeps it off the net. And well done for Caitlin Kovac, setting things up in the middle. This team is without Amelia Morgan, their regular setter, so they're looking for Kovac and company to help facilitate the offense. Crane serving. Morgan and Myers and Stacy taking a breather. They've seen action early, but it's Niederreiter and Myers up front. The shot goes over Niederreiter and Myers. Far side for Taylor, off the hands. It goes for a point from Emily Taylor. Keeps Crane on the service line, 19-11, Saints leading. Diana Crane, jump serve, goes right at Kubal, and then the attack is from Pepperoni on the near side, and just over, set Caitlin Kovac over the hands of Abby Myers. Myers can really get some air, but Kovac, not a lot of practice in game doing the setting duties, so you can expect a few hiccups maybe like that, but Kovac is going to keep at it, and she sets up Niederreiter. Niederreiter gets her first kill of the season. Well done by Crystal Niederreiter on just a punch over the net. And Crystal Niederreiter's in the stat books for the first time. The senior from Merritt Island, Florida, 6-footer, is back at her middle blocking position, and Emily Taylor and Rachel Stacy get the block that time. 20-12, Saints leading. As a wonderful sight for Saints fans, Niederreiter is back on the court for the first time this season. Register sets up back row attack, that coming from Harrison. Ganan sets Niederreiter. Hard hit from Niederreiter, another kill. Crystal Niederreiter picks up number 2. 22-12, Saints leading by 10 here. As I mentioned, 6-0 all-time against the Bearcats. The Lander Bearcats have only won 2 sets in those 6 matches. Attack is on from Bain. Kovac sets near side for Niederreiter, saved by Register, and then Kubal is going to set far side for Pepperoni. Crane, Taylor, back line out, just misses the boundary as Taylor sends that one out of play. 22-13. Taylor saw the open space in the back corner, but just couldn't fit it in. And now it's Kubal, the senior from Dakila, Georgia. Emily Taylor, and it's Kovac who sets up Rachel Stacy. Thought it was going to be right at the net or over. But no, Kovac, surprisingly. Kate Kovac listed as 5'6", able to play that ball above the net and save it from getting into the mitts of the Lander Bearcats, setting up Rachel Stacy for the kill. Now Morgan checks in and the traditional setter's back. Angermeyer gets that one to fall in, and she records the kill. 23-14. Bearcats have a big mountain to climb here in the first set, down by 9. Saints just 2 points away from stealing the first set. She'll go with Caitlin Kraft to serve. She's a defensive specialist. Serves from the back line. Dug by Crane, Morgan, and Sophie Meyer on the attack, and it was a net interference call by the front line of Bain and Angermeyer. Rachel Wilkes going to check in. Rachel Wilkes from Argyle, Texas goes back to serve against the Bearcats with set point. It goes right at Kubal. Good serve there from Wilkes. And it was Angermeyer on the return. Wilkes on the dig, and there's Meyer. Kubal keeps it alive. Pass over. Stacy, Morgan, and then Ganan has to do a pass over for the Saints. Kraft, and then Angermeyer. Ganan, whoa, overhand dig. Somehow got that one. And another one from Ganan, but that one can't be saved. The Bearcats there on the attack, and they put together a pretty good offensive performance there. Saints 24, Bearcats 15. They pick up the point. Saints still standing at set point here in the first set. Sarah Bradley, the freshman from Arlington, Tennessee, serves. Dug by Wilkes, and Wilkes will give it a back row lunge. Saved by Kubal. Far side, or near side, I should say, for Harrison. Ganan. Crane dug out barely by Kraft. Morgan. Ganan. Near side, Meyer gets the kill. Sophie Meyer, the junior from Orlando, ends the first set. Sophie Meyer always good for the last word. She was the one who got the final point against Armstrong and really helped set the tone last night against USC Aiken. Got the first couple sets, or first couple points of the first couple sets. Flagler Saints will host the Peach Belt Conference Volleyball Tournament on November 16th, and that runs through the 18th of November. Ticketing will be the same as regular season Saints home matches. Admission $5 for adults, $3 for students, seniors, and children. Again, November 16th through the 18th, the Saints will host the Peach Belt Volleyball Tournament. So come out and support the Flagler College Saints as they look to win the conference tournament for the 4th year in a row. Sonny's Spirit Night is back at Sonny's Real Pit Barbecue. The first Tuesday of every month, come out to Sonny's between 5 and 8 p.m. for some tasty barbecue, and 10% of all proceeds will be donated to Flagler Athletics. That's 5 to 8 p.m. on the first Tuesday of every month at Sonny's, north of 312 on US 1, with 10% donated to Flagler Athletics. Brought to you by Sonny's, the first name in barbecue. Mark your calendars, November 6th and December 4th, the first Tuesday of each of those months. That is Spirit Night, 5 to 8 p.m. Go out and get some delicious barbecue from Sonny's and help support your Saints. 25-15, that is how the first set ended, and the Saints won the first one. Let's see if the Bearcats can bounce back here in the second set. Ashley Stathis, in her first year, has them to a wonderful start. As I mentioned, coming into last night's match, they were 4-1, tied for second in a very competitive Peach Belt Conference. They were tied up there with USC Aiken and perennial power Armstrong Atlantic State. Lander has been off to a phenomenal start, but a loss to Armstrong Atlantic, and now playing an opponent they have not beaten ever in their history in the Saints. It could turn into a little dip in the schedule, a bit of a bad road stretch there for the Bearcats. So head coach Ashley Stathis trying to get her Bearcats back on track so that doesn't happen, so that she can have a 500 road trip, splitting with Armstrong and the Saints. But the Saints leading in the first set, won the first set, so they have the 1-0 advantage going into set numero dos. And the Saints led statistically. Well, surprisingly, there's 4 players with 3 kills. Crystal Niederreiter is one of those. Emily Taylor, Diana Crane, and Sophie Meyer with 3 kills apiece. And Abby Myers and Rachel Stacy have 2. Amelia Morgan got 1 of her own. Amelia Morgan has 9 assists so far. As for Diggs, Casey Ganan has 5. Emily Taylor has 4 for the Saints. And speaking of Taylor, she is ready to serve. Back to serve. Saints won the first set, starting the second set right here with Emily Taylor serving. And Harrison had to go to the floor for that dig. And Cabal just has to do a pass over. Taylor, Morgan, Stacy. Net interference by Angermeyer. And the Saints will pick up this point that way. Either way, Stacy found the court. But it officially will be logged as net interference by Taryn Angermeyer, the freshman from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Kubal backpedals for that dig. Register launched it over, and Stacy sends it right back. A dart from Stacy gets the kill. 2 attacks so far from Stacy. They both produce points. 2-0, Saints leading with Taylor serving. Jump serve. Taylor, trying to float it over and surprise the front side of that defense, but instead it gets caught in the net. So 2-1 now the score. Saints lead. That was Kraft serving. Crane dig. Taylor back row attack. Kraft again on the dig. Register sets up Harrison on the back row. Ganan digs. Morgan. Sophie Meyer off the block. Kubal gets it. Register, and then Angermeyer finds room diagonally through the defense of the Saints. Angermeyer ties it at 2. That's the ball game right here in the second set. And that one, a well done serve by Kraft right over the top of the net. And Sophie Meyer just floats it over. And that's Bain who got it over the net. Ganan sets up Crane. Crane floats it. Bain digs. Kraft sets, and Bain will just send back across. Ganan. Morgan. Near side Crane. Hard hit from Crane. Somehow they keep it up. Whoa. Good job by the Bearcats. Morgan. Far side for Meyer. Kubal. Again, that defense for the Bearcats I mentioned, very good. And Angermeyer, after the long con, gets that one to go. Just kind of roping them out. And the Saints pretty organized through all that. But the Bearcats just answering defensively the entire time. And finally find the space. Morgan, Stacy gets the kill there. Ties it back at 3 for the Saints. Kristen Lederreiter checks back in for Casey Ganan, senior substitution there. And junior, or check that. No, it's senior Rachel Stacy serving. Thought it might have been Taylor, but no, Stacy back there to serve. Harrison, Taylor, Morgan, Crane, Kubal. Register, quick attack, and good job from Jessica Register, the sophomore. Picking up that kill. Gets the Bearcats the advantage, 4-3. Sarah Bradley, the 5-foot freshman, back to serve. Sends one over. Crane and Niederreiter floats one over. Harrison lunges for the save. Kubal sends it back over. Good effort there from Harrison. Far side for Sophie Meyer. Sophie Meyer gets the kill. Tying it back at 4, Kovac checks in for Meyer. And Kovac is ready to serve. She sends one over, saved by Kraft. Harrison in the net, and tough luck there on the reception. Kraft did a decent job of digging it out, but her teammate Harrison couldn't handle that low dig, and Kovac is ready to serve again. Kraft there having trouble again. So they're just going to have a pass over there from Kubal. Morgan sets Niederreiter. Hard hit from Niederreiter is saved by Kraft. And then return from Harrison in the lights. Kovac had to play that one. Well done by Caitlin Kovac, and Crane sends it over. Harrison dug out by Ganan. Morgan. Crane floats it. Saved by Harrison. Register. Attacked by Angermeyer. And Angermeyer gets the kill to level it back at 5. Second set, the Bearcats look to be a bit more focused. And they have a tie here at 5-all with the Saints here in the second set. Morgan sets Crane. Crane deflected by Angermeyer into the rafters, and it was hard to play off of those rafters. A bit random where the ball is going to go, and it went for a point for the Saints, 6-5. Diana Crane back to serve, the senior from Ontario, Canada. Register floats it up. Harrison has to get it over, and wow. Somehow, some way, Register just popped it over and got the kill on that one. She will go back to serve. Saints a little bit disorganized in the middle of that defense. Tied at 6. Register ready to serve, and she does. Crane digs. Morgan, Taylor on the attack. Kubal on the defense. Harrison. That fell in just on the line. Right down the yellow for Harrison. Caitlin Harrison, the freshman, from Normal, Illinois. Puts the Bearcats up by 1, 7-6. Register, Niederreiter digs, and she will attack. Long it goes for Niederreiter. And the point will actually go to the Saints on interference, looks like. Ganan will serve, tied at 7. Senior from Boca Raton sends one over the net just barely and saved. Lunging is Bradley and then returned is Harrison. Stacy, the quick set from Morgan, works again for Rachel Stacy. Stacy gets the kill and picks up her 7th kill. She leads all players with 7 kills, the Orlando native Rachel Stacy. Register sets, near side Harrison, blocked but out of, I thought that was out of bounds, but it is a point for the Saints. I'm not sure if the ball actually got over the net. It might have hit the block through the net. And that one lands just in for Casey Ganan. Wow, that was really close, and an ace there from Ganan, her 19th of the season. And a quick timeout. Bearcats were doing a good job clawing their way through the second set, staying tied at different marks, 8, 6, and 5 with the Saints, but now a 3-point advantage, the biggest advantage in the second set for the Saints. Timeout now for Ashley Stathis and the Bearcats. Corey Mundy of the men's cross-country team was selected as the Travel Links Student Athlete of the Week for the period ending in October 7th. Mundy set a personal record time of 26 minutes, 44.5 seconds at the 8K in the Florida State Invitational last Friday in Tallahassee against a stacked field of top runners from 3 different NCAA divisions. He finished 27th in the race, and his time was the 8th fastest in school history. That's right, his 26:44.5 was the 8th fastest in Flagler program history. That is your Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Travel Links, Premium Transportation Services, the official travel services of Flagler Athletics. Corey Mundy, Travel Links Student Athlete of the Week. And that one from Harrison didn't get above the net, so the Saints pick up a point off of miscue from Harrison, and that's Coball. Register sets up Diedrich, and too many hits there for the Saints. Taylor hit the top of the net, and it bounced back, so Morgan there had to try and play it over, but it didn't actually cross the net. So point for the Bearcats. Back to serve is Harrison. Caitlin Harrison, the freshman from Normal, Illinois. Dug by Crane. She will attack, just pops it over, and Diana Crane gets the kill. Sophie Meyer checking in for Kate Kovac. 12-8 Saints lead, and Amelia